in their head. People start getting text messages or phone calls or emails, and they're purporting to be members of the IRS trying to scare folks into paying for items that they don't need to pay for. We pay enough taxes. We don't have to pay the scam artist as well. So we really encourage people to keep up their diligence. When you're getting text messages that are asking you to click on something, don't. The IRS is not sending you text messages. If you have an agent on the phone, somebody pretending to be an IRS agent, and they're threatening you, you're going to get arrested unless you pay this today. That is not going to happen. They don't send out the police to arrest people from the IRS for not paying your taxes. They'll send you items in the mail. You'll get proper notification that way. So I always tell people, trust your gut. Talk to the trusted people in your lives. If you think something's wrong, go to an accountant, go to somebody who knows that field, and they'll take good care of you.
Yeah. Well, the tax scam, certainly that does crop up at this time every year. Tax preparation scams also can victimize people. There are plenty of people that take advantage of whatever is in that season, and then they'll try to get into your wallet.
Oh, that's all it is. Around Christmas time, it's frauds involving, delivery of packages or hey, you want a gift card or something. And hey, we all want it to be true. We all want to receive that message that we have a windfall of money. I get it. But that old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. You just have to keep your mind about you, trust your gut, and ask questions. Yeah. There's no bill that's going to come up where somebody says, if you don't pay this right now, out of the blue, you're going to jail. That doesn't happen. Yeah.
The turnpike scam is out there again as well. That one will never go away, it seems.
That's one that'll just always pop up every so often. We raise awareness about it. Less people fall for that scam. It'll go away for a little bit of time, and it'll definitely come back up.
Yeah. We get to the month of March as well, and there are occasions that are celebrated. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Unfortunately, that means people who maybe don't drink all that often, they indulge too much. And for those who aren't used to drinking, it takes only, half a drink, and that changes circumstances for them. But for anybody who is considering drinking and finding the wheel of a car, that's bad news.
It's bad news, and you're right. We start seeing an uptick in DUIs around this time of year. In order to deal with it, we have a lot more police on patrol, a lot more state troopers on patrol. I like to tell people up front because I don't want people to drive while intoxicated. We're telling you we're out there. We're telling you we're looking for drunk drivers because we don't want you to. And, we've all been stuck in our houses over the last few months when it's negative 10 degrees and it's snowing out.
Yeah.
I want to be out of my house. Everybody wants to get out, see friends, stop seeing the inside of your house. It's very easy to overindulge and to start thinking, hey, my house is only around the corner. I can get there. And that's when bad things happen. The other day we were in an opioid settlement fund meeting talking about getting transports for people that need to go get treatment. So we were looking up Uber drivers. It's $25 to get from Indiana to Blairsville. It's about $10,000 plus for a DUI. And that's the least of your concerns. You could kill somebody. You could kill yourself. You could hurt somebody. Your name's going to be in the news. You're going to be embarrassed by it. You're going to have to be in court. You could lose your license. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. So, it's if you're going out, have a plan to get home safely. And if you think, I'm only going to go out, I'll be fine getting home, and then you're out and you realize, hey, I'm probably not fine being home. It really doesn't cost you that much. Get an Uber, get a Lyft. Call a friend, call a family member. It is so much safer. And it's so much better to say, I got home safe. I'll get my car tomorrow.
Yeah. How often we get these requests here at the radio station. Somebody will send us an email. When I was a student, I was caught DUI and made the news, and it's still on your website, even though that was back in 2019 or 2018. And every time someone Googles my name, that comes up. Can you please take it off? Yeah. Didn't have to be, did it?
It didn't have to be. I mean, that's an easy phone call to somebody. Hey, you know what? Can you give me a ride home? And really, you show your maturity and you show your safety, concern for yourself. And I think you role model good behavior for the people in your life too. If you go out and you think, I'm only going to have a beer with dinner and maybe you have a little more, being smart enough to say, I shouldn't drive home, I'm getting a friend, you're telling people around you in your life it's okay to say, I shouldn't be driving, I'm going to get a ride home. And hopefully they do the same, and then their friends and family do the same. And we're all safer for it. That little yellow line down the road isn't going to stop people from veering into the wrong lane.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So warning against driving under the influence, driving when you've been drinking anything. And that has to do with other substances as well.
Oh, it has to do with anything else. One of the major concerns we're seeing with DUIs these days is the medical marijuana card. There's a lot of people that for whatever reason in their life, they have a medical marijuana card and they use it to address whatever it is they address. Even if you have a medical marijuana card, you cannot drive a vehicle with marijuana in your system. And we see that a lot where people are pulled over. The officers are able to easily detect they're under the influence. They determine that, they had even medical marijuana, it's in their system. That is a DUI in Pennsylvania. And I don't think I don't know if those folks are not told enough or if they disregard it, but just because you have a medical marijuana card, you cannot operate a vehicle with any marijuana in your system. And it lasts. If you have a beer today, it might be out of your system tomorrow. If you use medical marijuana today, it's still in your system 3, 4, 5 days from now. So you have to be incredibly careful about if you're using medical marijuana, you need to find somebody to drive you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So those warnings certainly should open a few eyes, and we hope maybe save a few lives too. Let's get into the courtroom. We've had a number of different stories coming from your office recently of people convicted in Indiana County Court. Unfortunately, you never want to get stories like that because it means people have been misbehaving, and sometimes in a major way, and sometimes in the most recent cases with children as the victims.
And those are awful cases. But, anytime you have a child as a victim, a child should be worrying about riding their bike around town, getting some ice cream, and playing with their friends. Unfortunately, we have a number of children that are the victims of sexual assaults, neglect, abuse. And we try to get the word out about detecting it early and people kind of keeping their eyes open. If you see something, call Childline, call the police, let them investigate. Maybe there's nothing going on, but let them investigate. And, our police really take it seriously anytime a crime is called in. And when you have a child sex victim, we just had William Piper. He's going to be on supervision with the state until he's about 95. He's going to jail for up to 40 years. Quite frankly, he should be under the jail. You have people that commit these awful crimes against children, and that child is going to carry it with them the rest of their life. So when we have those cases and everything falls into place, we're able to, we have a victim that's wanting to come forward, and that's number one.
Yeah.
Some victims don't want to come forward, and we're not going to press them. That's a trauma they're dealing with. We don't want to re-traumatize them. But when we have a victim that's ready to come forward and we have the evidence to convict them, we want to do that, and we want to press for as much jail time as the law will allow. We want to press for as much supervision. We worry about the first number, which is the minimum before they're eligible for parole. We're worried about that last number. That's a person that's going to be supervised when he gets out of jail, which is hopefully a very long time from now. He's going to be up to 95 years old before he stops having parole agents supervising him. So basically the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away the trauma. Hopefully for that particular victim, it helps them kind of close a chapter in their life. It's not going to fix it. And hopefully it shows other victims, hey, if you go forward, we can't promise you the world. We never promise results, but we promise that our law enforcement in our office, we're going to work our tails off for you.
Yeah, people who do bad things need to be put through the system and have full justice prevail. I wanted to talk about as well some of the cases coming through the court system recently have involved defendants who are from out of the county, who commit their crimes here in Indiana County, go on trial here in Indiana County, but because they live in other areas, you have to reach over county lines and talk with law enforcement and with prosecutors in other counties. That cooperation between counties is really important, especially on a regional basis, isn't it?
It is very important, not only in a regional basis, but in a statewide basis. And that's a great cooperation that our law enforcement and our office will provide to anybody in the state, anybody in the country. And we get the same cooperation from them. Cambria County, Armstrong County, Jefferson County, they're all real close to us. So we have a really good relationship here in Western Pennsylvania. In fact, we just had the DAs from the 5 surrounding counties here in Indiana County a couple weeks ago to talk about some matters that we all want to address. Mm-hmm. But it is fantastic when you have that cooperation and that idea of the mission of justice. We just worked with law enforcement, not only in the state police, but in another state when we were able to apprehend a wanted fugitive for a very serious sexual assault case. And now we're bringing them back from Texas. We're able to work with folks around the country. We have a great relationship here with our local, state, and federal partners. If we need something from Homeland Security, we can call Homeland Security and they'll help us out. We have members of the FBI helping us out. Immigration is helping us out. We have a lot of great partnerships, and that takes a lot of work to build those relationships. I don't want to meet you in a state of emergency. Mm-hmm. If you're one of my partners in law enforcement, I don't want to be at a homicide scene meeting you for the first time. So we take a great deal of pride in building those relationships ahead of time so that when emergency strikes, I know exactly who to call. I don't have to waste time figuring that out.
Yeah. The work goes on for Indiana County District Attorney Bob Manzi and everybody in the office and through the court system. Thanks so much for coming over today.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. How'd you do today on True or False?
Unfortunately, I didn't catch True or False today.
Uh-oh. We might have to give you a pop quiz. Fox News next, and then Josh in the newsroom.